What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Commentary for you. One of my sponsors, Steel Supplements. Link and discount code down in the description. You also know I'm a Weeble. Prefer to vote. It's our best promotion in the pinned comment. All you need to do, click the link, go open an account, agree to the terms and conditions. They are going to give you free stock. I want to thank Rev, R_E_V_ on Twitter for posting this clip because I guess this shows the improvements of Madden 24. We're going to take a look at this at speed. I'm going to break down a number of things. There's going to be a couple Clints in this play for those of you that love that. But I got to say, I'm very perplexed at where all of these changes came with Sapien technology, with Rebuilt Rewired, when we go back and we take a look at players doing things that don't make any sense. So the first thing I want to start off with is we're going to call him Clint. There's a double team block here, okay? I want you to understand you're going to have containment lost. But Clint goes off to do nothing. Clint is just standing there, and you can see in the middle of the field, there's a defensive tackle that now has a free release to the quarterback because the other lineman that lost control of the block is standing there as well. Why does this happen all the time? But that's not what we're here to focus on. We're here to focus on Clint number 2. Because Clint number 2 has some explaining to do to his coach as to what he sees here to break down and believe this is a curl and loses all this distance to the receiver. But it's okay because as the pass comes in, we've got a safety that can come over and hopefully defend this pass or tackle the ball carrier. And because Madden is so awful, it gives that catch animation, a twirling in-air catch. And I'm going to zoom in. I want you to watch these physics in action. What on earth is going on? Are these just players hitting each other, searching for animations? That's what it looks like to me, but I did find realism in Darius Leonard, bottom right-hand side, throwing his hands up because the game is asking what dance you want to perform after you've made this catch that should have been a touchdown, couldn't be because you had this crazy catch you had to make. And then, of course, we go to the sidelines where your coach is just staring blankly into a tablet and no one is celebrating, even though this would be very much an appreciated play, which was for huge yardage on blown coverage, which, by the way, isn't in Madden. And for everyone that wants to defend this game and say, mistakes happen, players don't read things right. Mistakes are not programmed in Madden. Do you understand? You can't use human error as an excuse in this game. Yes, I understand in real life, players make mistakes. Yes, I understand in real life, a player can get a cramp, blow coverage, and be totally giving up a touchdown. That doesn't happen in Madden. You're dependent on the same logic coding being used over and over and over again. That's why when we discuss these issues, like double team blocking that releases before any other block will, or linemen that go off a block to randomly run over to stand at the line of scrimmage for no reason, it's a big deal because that isn't just happening on this play, that's happening on every play. That's why when EA gives you the beta, we all collectively give them feedback to improve their game because we know if they can improve it now, when they're in the beta, by the time it gets to you in August, or by the time someone buys this game, hopefully these things can be fixed. That's really the point of these videos. I try to make them comical, I try to make them fun, I try to make them lighthearted, because to be honest, if we sit here and we go over all the broken X's and O's in this game, I'm going to get tired of doing this after 5 minutes. At least I can kind of say with a smile, the game is broken, but hey, it wants you to pick a dance, right? So that makes it fun. Which dance are you going to pick? I would prefer that we actually had a simulation football game where football is respected. Because I hate to break it to you, that play you just watched, it doesn't matter what players were on the field. It doesn't matter what superstar, it doesn't matter what X Factor, it doesn't matter what ultimate team player you purchased. That is the logic in this game. Sliders are not going to fix that. Difficulty settings aren't going to fix that. Arcade to competitive to simulation isn't going to fix that because this is programming. This is poor programming. Please understand that. Before someone types a defense to this, which is not defendable, the answer to your question is poorly programmed game. Doesn't mean football game, doesn't mean sports game. Means Poorly programmed game. End of story. We have asked, we have pleaded, we have essentially created hashtags trying to get this company to realize their game is awful and they need to fix it. In the interim, we've had people from our community go work for this company. They can't get the game figured out, so they get unceremoniously fired. We have people from the community go out and create Axis Football, Legend Bowl, because they got tired of waiting for EA to make a good product. They decided to try to make a football game on their own. I really don't know any other community that gets so stuck on looking at the game and trying to defend that it's better when it's clearly not. That looks at a play and says, oh, well, that's just one play. You're just nitpicking. No, this can be every single play in this game. Just because it didn't happen to you doesn't mean it isn't going to happen to you, because by definition, the video game coding means it will happen to you at some point. And I guarantee you, whether you think Madden is the best game in the world or the worst game in the world, when you have a play like this happen, you are going to be frustrated. One of the best things about football and sport in general is that you can learn from the mistakes that you make and then make sure they don't happen again. Some of the best players you've ever seen in any sport are masters at learning and adapting. Peyton Manning was such a great quarterback because he learned, he adapted, he taught, he improvised. Tom Brady, very much the same way, if not better in those same instances. When you look at this game and you see those things, you as a user are lost. You can't go back and say, I need to make sure my line doesn't do that anymore. I need to make sure my defense doesn't do that anymore. I need to make sure my defender doesn't do that anymore, because you don't have control over it. When you're playing this game, no matter how great you think you are at Madden, you control one single player. You can't, in that example, atone for every mistake that got made. You can't make up every mistake that the computer makes. You are dependent on the computer having some sense of how to play football. And that's why when you have somebody like Clint Oldenburg, former practice lineman, in the building, we all expected him to make sure that football was respected. When they said they were going to put John Madden's name prominently on this game after he passed, we expected football would be respected. When they came out and said Sapient technology, rebuilt, rewired, we all hoped football would be respected. So it doesn't matter if it's the beta, it doesn't matter if it's pre-release. These are hard code legacy issues that have been in the game for years. They're not able to get them out after years in a dev cycle. They're not going to be able to patch them out of the game. You're not patching things that can't be fixed in a development cycle. You're patching things to add on to code, not completely rewrite it. And when you look at a play like this, you don't have to know anything about football to understand if you've got two players blocking one player, it should hold for the longest amount of time, generally speaking, and you shouldn't have a player all of a sudden stop and turn around on the field when they've got a player right in front of them that is running away. That's not even going into whatever it was that happened on that catch. Love to know your guys' thoughts on this. Appreciate you watching it. Is this the positive? Did I miss something here? For everyone that just says I make negative content, can someone please articulate to me all the positives I missed on this play that I overlooked? Take this video if you'd like. If you do, I'll be glad to promote your channel. Show me the positives, because I sure don't see them. Love to know your thoughts on this. Appreciate you watching it. You know, when a game plays this bad, there is no way I will not be back in the week with more commentary.